see. Knicks family was popping. I apologize for the delay. I don't know what's going on, but for some reason, I was having some serious connection issues with YouTube, and I'm still having connection issues with YouTube. So something's going on with it. I really don't know what it is. But anyway, we're here now, ladies and gentlemen, and, obviously I had a stream set up a while ago, and for whatever reason, it just didn't want to work the way that it usually works. But we back on it now, all right? And, we got it going, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing started without further delay because I already wasted enough of your time. We're going to go ahead and get this thing going. Let's rock.
That's the G.
And yes, Knicks family, the Knicks were at home tonight against the Washington Wizards, hoping to get a win before they moved on to the All-Star break. And you see the first half starts off right there, ladies and gentlemen, with an easy hoop a turnover, an easy bucket by the Washington Wizards. You see Bradley Beal averages 29 points a game. He missed the All-Star game this year. Some say he got snubbed, that he should have made it, but of course the Wizards only got 19 wins on the season, now 20 wins because they defeated the Knicks tonight. As you see Julius Randle lay that one in, ladies and gentlemen. To the basket one more time, Ish Smith. Listen, one of the things we know we needed to do was keep these guys out the paint and not let these guys get hot from three. Well, you know what? They didn't really get hot from three. They were okay. They shot 35.7% from three. The first half, they were shaky. The second half is when they really started to kind of light it up from the three-point line, ladies and gentlemen. All right, first half, it wasn't too bad. The Knicks played okay in the first half. You see, it's 15-13 now as Rui Hachimura puts that one in 20-18. Washington Wizards are up, and they find big man down in the post. He puts that one in, ladies and gentlemen. Moritz Wagner, I called him Wagner the other day. Wagner, he put that one in. 22-18, the Washington Wizards are up. Knicks scored there to make it climb to within a couple of points. It's now 25-20. Dennis Smith Jr. with a turnaround jump shot. He knocks that one in. 25-22, the Wizards are up, and Mo Harkless, he's making his first entrance and first debut, or not first debut, made his debut as he knocks that one down for the New York Knicks. The Knicks up 27-26. Mo Harkless didn't do much. He had 4 points. He's 2 for 7 from the field, 5 rebounds. All right, Mo Harkless, one more. Lays that one in with the left hand to put the Knicks up 28-27. The Knicks up top of the second quarter, beginning of the second quarter. And then right there, on the break, ladies and gentlemen, see, that's what you can't. You can't allow a score and then you can't score, then allow the team come back and just get an easy bucket on you. And then you can't let them just walk down the lane and score on you either. 33-30. And all this stuff is going to rear its head as we get into the second half of this game. Yeah, all this stuff begins to rear its head. Frank Ntilikina finds, can't even think of his name, Wayne Ellington. That's how much I'm ready for some of these guys to be gone. I can't even think of their names. Finds Wayne Ellington going to the basket, but then Bradley Beal, he goes down the lane and dunks that one home. It's 38-35. The Knicks down by 3. Bradley Beal once again to the cup. Bradley Beal had 30 points on the night, ladies and gentlemen. He had 30 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. 40-35. The Knicks are down. See R.J. Barrett go to the basket, scoop it in with the left hand. It's 40-38. The Knicks are going to try to make a little run here. And they're going to try to make a run. Bradley Beal shakes off Reggie Bullock. He pulls up. Bam, he knocks that one down. Smooth move from Bradley Beal. 44-40. R.J. Barrett clanks that one off the rim, and the Wizards are on a break. Bradley Beal once again to give the Wizards a 6-point lead. Julius Randle misses that one. Then Mitchell Robinson, he dunks that one home. It's now 46-42, and the Knicks are poised now, it seems, as they tie the game up to make it 46-46. R.J. Barrett goes to the basket, lays it in to make it 48-46 Knicks. The Knicks get another turnover. Nice play as Elfrid Payton finds Mo Harkless, who dips it off to Julius Randle. The Knicks take a 4-point lead. The Knicks are up 4 to enter the third quarter, 52-48. Ish Smith gets in the paint, knocks down a little pull-up baby jump shot. The Knicks turn the ball over again. Wizards on a fast break. Rui Hachimura, fouled by Julius Randle, gets the and one. The Wizards take the lead. Ish Smith finds Bradley Beal coming off the screen. Bradley Beal inside, kicks it back to Rui Hachimura, and boom! Number 17, Isaac Bonga knocks that one down. He had 13 points. He was 3 for 3 from the three-point line. He shot 5 for 7 from the field. As Elfrid Payton goes to the basket and lays that one home. Bradley Beal, once again, nice little move, inside out, but he missed it. Followed up by Mahinmi. Mahinmi had 9 points and 10 rebounds on the night. Elfrid Payton to the basket once again. Elfrid Payton tonight had 19 points and 8 assists. He also had 4 rebounds. Elfrid Payton finds Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, he had 11 points and 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block shot. Mitchell Robinson was having some trouble with fouls this game, ladies and gentlemen. Mitchell Robinson dunks that one home. 62-61. The Washington Wizards are up. Elfrid Payton, he goes to the basket. He gets hit. He missed the free throw on that one, ladies and gentlemen. Bradley Beal, he gets hit by Mitchell Robinson. I didn't like that call because Bradley Beal really did create that contact, but what are you going to do? It goes against the Knicks like that. R.J. Barrett gets inside, creates the exact same contact that Bradley Beal just created on the other end. R.J. Barrett, he got the hoop, but he didn't get the harm. And then Bertans knocks that one down from 3. You got to remember to get out on that guy because he'll knock it down. 70-65. The Washington Wizards are up over the New York Knicks. Elfrid Payton finds Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis knocks one down. Bobby Portis didn't have a good second half, ladies and gentlemen. 70-67. Now 70-69. The Knicks inching closer. And then Troy Brown Jr. knocks down a little fadeaway over Maurice Harkless. Then one more as Shabazz Napier lays that one home, and it's 74-69. Nice ball movement by the Knicks here, and Julius Randle finished it off. Julius Randle on the night had 21 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 turnovers. He was 9 for 18 from the field. But the Washington Wizards weren't going to let up, especially in a game where they used to scoring a lot of points. They didn't score a lot of points, but they weren't going to stop shooting it. They weren't going to stop going for it. Kevin Knox with a nice drive, pull-up, fadeaway jump shot. It's only 2 points of the game. He only played 10 minutes. 83-78. And here's where the game really got busted open, ladies and gentlemen. Bradley Beal, the Knicks down 5. And Bradley Beal comes down, pulls up, knocks down the 3. And the game starts to bust open from here. Julius Randle gets the putback to make it 86-80, knocks it down. It's now 88-81. The Wizards up by 7, and then Bradley Beal's got the ball at the top of the key, pulls it up, bang. And this game gets out of hand from this point on. The Knicks just lose control. What you didn't see here is that Bobby Portis got ejected from this game. Right? You didn't see that here, as you see Julius Randle dunk that one home. And, it probably wasn't, warranted. But needless to say, you just don't take any chances anyway. He got ejected from the game. The Knicks letting this game get out of hand. They're now down 14 points, 99-85. And, this one just basically gets out of control. Not much more to talk about with this game as you see the Washington Wizards begin to run all over the New York Knicks and for the most part just basically embarrass us. Right? And, basically just embarrass us for the remainder of this game. So I don't even think there's much more to look at with this game, ladies and gentlemen. As the Knicks lose to the Washington Wizards, 114-96. Was not a fun game to watch. Because it's just, the first half was cool. The second half just got terrible. Just wasn't a fun game to watch, ladies and gentlemen. So, it is what it is. What can you do about it? Not much you can do about it, but live with it. Right? So all you can do is live with it. So, let's get back, ladies and gentlemen, to talking about, forget about this game. I'll go over, all the stuff that I usually go over with just because, look, the Knicks shot 40.9% from the field. They shot 13% from three, right? They were 2 for 21 in the first half. In the second half, they only shot 2 threes. 2 threes. They tried to barrel their way inside and try to get all the points inside in the paint. And the Wizards were longer. They were longer. We couldn't get nothing. Couldn't do anything. Shot 13% from three. We shot 72.4% from the free throw line. The Wizards shot 47.6% from the field. They shot 35.7% from three. Mind you, the Wizards were 4 for 18 in the first half from the three-point line. Then the Wizards shot 72.7% from the free throw line. The Knicks out-rebounded the Wizards 52-40. But it didn't mean much. The Knicks only had 19 assists. The Wizards had 25 assists, 13 steals for the Knicks. 13 steals for the Wizards, 10 steals for the Knicks. 7 blocks for the Wizards, 3 for the Knicks. And the Knicks had 20 turnovers tonight. And that'll do you in just about every time, ladies and gentlemen. 20 turnovers. Do me a favor. I know I was late, right? So if anybody is just joining me or if anybody was waiting, I apologize to you. But hey, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell for me. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section, all right? You can go ahead. Doesn't take long to ring that notification bell. Make sure you hit the like button, all right? Throw me a couple of likes out there. You may not want to hit the like button today because I had you waiting all night long. But anyway, let's take a look at the box scores of this game. We'll start with the Washington Wizards. All right, Isaac Bonga had 13 points and 4 rebounds. Rui Hachimura had 8 points, 5 rebounds. Ian Mahinmi, he had 9 points, 10 rebounds. Bradley Beal had 30 points for the Wizards. Ish Smith had 8 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Troy Brown Jr., he had 11 points and 6 assists. Jabaj Napier had 5 points. Moritz Wagner, he had 6 points. Davis Bertans, he had 16 points. Jerome Robinson had 5 points. Gary Payton II, he had 3 points. Let's take a look at what the Knicks did on the night, ladies and gentlemen. Reggie Bullock had 5 points. Julius Randle, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Taj Gibson had 2 points. RJ Barrett had 16 points, 5 rebounds. Alfred Payton, he had 19 points, 8 assists. He was 6 for 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. Mitchell Robinson had 11 points, 8 rebounds. Maurice Harkless played 24 minutes. He had 4 points and 5 rebounds. DSJ, he only played 6 minutes. He had 4 points. Wayne Ellington had 5 points. Wayne Ellington played 14 minutes. Kevin Knox played 10 minutes. Bobby Portis 15 minutes. He got ejected. And Frank Ntilikina played 10 minutes. Damian Dotson played 6 minutes. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of the rundown for the Knicks on tonight. And not a good way to send us into the All-Star break, Just not a good way to send us into the All-Star break. But, hey, it is what it is, man. We're going to go ahead and talk to some of the guys we got here in the chat. All right. Well, actually, we only got Guillermo in the chat. Most people probably think I'm not coming on because of whatever was going on. But anyway, Guillermo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, this is a trash game, man. I mean, I remember not everybody, but people were like, yo, I'm being too pessimistic for saying the Knicks can't win all these games. But for the same reasons I said that we can't win these games, it comes true. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these guys. I want the Knicks to lose. Obviously, I want us to win. But again, this is a team that, look, the teams we're beating before, the Pistons, we're beating some crap teams, bro. Like, this Knicks team, we lack discipline. Our offense is still very elementary, if that makes any sense. We had how many turnovers off of just lazy passes throughout this game? What we had 18 turnovers or something this game?
20 turnovers this game. We had 20 turnovers this game.
Oh, 20. My bad. Excuse me. And then the lack of discipline, right? The Randall tech, the Portis techs, like it's just God. It's like even in high school, you learned certain refs. They don't want to hear you talk. They don't want to hear the back and forth. They don't like the extracurriculars. You know what I mean? And I'm just amazed that this team, guys on this team, don't have the awareness. You know what I mean? Played terrible help side defense. It was so poor tonight. It was disgusting. It was just an all in all bad game, man. Everything about this team, I just question. And one thing, Kyrie 420, I pronounce it right. He made a good point. When you hear things like from what Steve Stoute said yesterday, are some of these guys starting to pack it in? Are they starting to mail it in and just not really care? I don't know. I don't know, man, because we can talk about playing with lack of energy, but there's a lack of IQ tonight. There's a lack of just headiness. There's a lack of just everything. I mean, you're two for what were they? Two for what from three? Two for some? I don't
Two for
remember. I just remember at one point
24.
it's two
I
for
think it was
21,
like 2 for 24 from 3. Let me see. Let me make sure. They were 3 for 23.
3 for 23. Wow. Oof. I mean, and they just kept shooting threes. At one point, I remember when RJ was getting to the basket, and then they just went away from him. I don't say he's hurt. He's still hurt because he was hobbling a little bit, but the game plan should have been to attack the middle, attack the basket. It's just, these stupid passes that they're trying. It was just it was a sloppy, terrible game, and I want to call it a blip. This is a team that has how many? We have 17 wins. We have a coach who basically is probably like, I'm not going to be here next year because, again, Steve Stoute is James Dolan's spokesperson, not the Knicks spokesperson or a PR guy. So he probably is like, oh, well, I'm going to be going anyway. So who cares? You know what I mean? And it's just that same thing we get time and time with the Knicks, where it's turmoil at the end of the season and you're already looking to next year because there's nothing to really build on because the coach probably knows he's gone. You know what I mean? It's just everything's just falling apart, man. I don't know. I'm not trying to say it's doomsday per se, but it just feels like, what are these guys playing for? And maybe they feel the same way. What the hell am I playing for? You know what I mean? Portis, I know Portis is not the smartest guy, but it's just him and Randall is like the Randall tagging and the Portis is just, I don't know, man.
And what went on with the whole Steve Stoute thing doesn't help either. I'm not blaming it on that. Now for the first half of the game, first half of the game they played well. The first half of the game they played well. The second half they played terrible. I mean, they had a 4-point lead.
First half of the game, the weak side defense was terrible, Sim, because it was I forgot what the score was, 64-63 or something like that, or whatever it was at halftime.
The Knicks were up 4s, 52-48.
I'm sorry, my bad. But the weak side defense was bad, Sim. Like, it was not good. We had a bunch of turnovers, so I would say we got lucky in the first half. And then the second half, they were making their shots, and we still try to just jack threes. But I agree with you on the Steve Stoute thing. And people try to make it seem like, oh, we're overreacting. No. When you're in an organization, I've seen it in baseball, I've seen it in football, I've seen it in all sports or most sports. When you have when the message is, we don't care about you guys. We are looking to the future. We're trying to basically peel off the scab and just get rid of you guys and build new skin. The guys aren't going to play to the utmost in terms of discipline, in terms of energy, in terms of focus. These guys may be checked out. Guys like Ellington or vets who probably should be playing in the first place, some of these guys might be checked out. And so they're not going to work hard even. They're not going to jump they're going to throw texts because you know what I mean? It's just, I agree with you 1,000% on that. That Steve Stoute thing could have just really messed it up. And again, Knicks botched it. And again, the thing about the most important thing is that Mike Miller probably feels he has no security. When we have a coach who, let's be honest, he's done a really good job for where the Knicks were in terms of what the roster is, the crap Fizdale was doing, the crap the front office was doing. He's done a fairly good job with this team in terms of squeezing out wins and close games to teams that we probably should have got blown out by. Remember the Pacers game? That's not a team we should be coming close to beating, and we came close to beating them. Not Bucks, because we got killed by them. What is it? The Pacers game that we won. Even, I know, what's name just came back. Diva came back. That's not a game we should be coming close to winning. You know what I mean? And it's just, you blow the air out of the room, the hope that Mike Miller might be the guy amongst all the turmoil. He might be the guy that you keep for next year, regardless of the GM or the president, because the players respond to him somehow. And maybe you get new players to come and replace the vets. You sign some free agents, and voila, maybe you have a 37-win team. Maybe you have a 40-win team. You know what I mean? But you screwed him up. Now the assistant coaches might be like, oh, I got to look for a job next year. I might be out. You know what I mean? You destroy whatever small little culture that might have been developing. So,
we'll see. And, we'll see. I don't know if you can chop it up to, them taking you can't chop it up to that though, right? Them, mentally checking out for the All-Star break. Because if there were a team that I know, people, the Knicks get within 5 games and people start talking about playoffs, right?
Oh,
Right. And you heard, if there were a team that really had that on their mind, win or lose, they would have came out feeling like we got to get this game because this is a team that has 19 wins. We have 17 wins. If we beat them, we have 18 wins. They still have 19 wins, and we inch closer to their spot, right? The Wizards they're actually looking at that 8th playoff spot. So to them, this was a game, I got to get this. We got to get this game because we want to try to get into that 8th spot. They can see it. They can taste it. Orlando's not playing well. They feel like they can step up into that 8th spot, the Washington Wizards. If the Knicks really had that on their mind and really thought about that, right, they would have came out different in that second half. Let me ask you this. What if, now, of course, this would have created a firestorm too, right? But what if Steve Stoute, when he was on ESPN, maybe it wouldn't have created the same firestorm, but what if he said, you know what, I'm looking at the team we have now, we're 5 games out of the playoffs. I want to see these guys make a push. I believe they can make a push. Do you think it would have affected the team a different way?
I'm not sure it would affect the team a different way, but it wouldn't be negative. You know what I mean? If you, like I said yesterday, if you basically if you gave platitudes or compliments to, what's this guy's name, to Mike Miller, you know what I mean? Maybe it's like, all right, things might change next year, but at least there might be a vote of confidence. Even if he gets fired, it's like, all right, at least they think highly of me, because they can think highly of him and still fire him if they want to go in a totally new direction. But again, that bodes well for you because it's like, all right, at least they were professional. Now other execs might be like, all right, maybe the Knicks did the right way. Maybe I might give these guys a chance. You know what I mean? Say they go into the playoffs, we don't have the guys on this team. We don't have the IQ guys. We don't have the leaders. We don't have superstars. We don't have guys who can kind of galvanize and play at a high level where it's like, all right, we're right there. Because if the Knicks were right there to the playoffs, you would have games where, how can I put it?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it would have.
It would. I don't think it would have pushed us to try to play harder. Because again, look at the rotations, look at things like that. There's no congruence between the front office and a coach. I still think Mike Miller's being hamstrung to play certain guys for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. Because Trier's still not getting any burn. And I know he can be still sick. It ain't like he got the coronavirus. So let's stop with all this Trier sick crap. They're just basically not playing him because for whatever reason. So I just don't think that this team would have been able to get to the playoffs, or not get to playoffs, excuse me, but played at a so-called higher level to try to get to the playoffs. It's just not there with this team. The chemistry is not there. The proficiency is not there. It's just, I don't even think they would have believed in themselves to do it.
I don't know. I mean, let's see how they respond after the All-Star break, right? They were on a 4-game winning streak, and then they lost 2. Let's see how they respond after the All-Star break. That's the only thing we can really do. Is see how they respond. And I'm not talking about them responding to make the playoffs. I'm just saying respond as far as a team is concerned. You know what I mean? Because throughout seasons, you're going to have, even if we had been playing well all season long, you're going to have games like this. I can guarantee you that. No matter what you do or who you are, you're going to have games like this. Let's see how they respond after the All-Star break, man. Savvy? What's your take on the game, and what do you expect over the All-Star break? Well, we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the All-Star break. What's your take on the game? What's your take? Hold up, Isaiah. What's your take, Savvy?
Yo, can you hear me, Sim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, man, this game was so annoying and hard to watch, yo. I didn't have any fun watching this game at all. I was very disappointed. It looked like nobody wanted to play, and it looked like nobody had any idea what to do at any given point. Like at what point do you say, yo, let me ease up because they're calling fouls left and right? You feel me? Like, at what point do you say, oh, you know what? These guys are going to draw fouls the entire time. Let's adjust. Like, it seemed like they had no answers for any of the schemes. Nobody could make a shot. People were getting frustrated, and and considering the conversation we had yesterday, I feel kind of like an idiot, quite frankly.
Uh-huh.
And on top of all that, I just wanted to say it seems like, despite how composed Mike Miller was in his pregame interview, you know, then ignoring all of the chatter about the whole Steve Stoute thing, it seemed like maybe he wasn't as engaged tonight as I would like for him to have been. Maybe maybe a tiny piece of that is in the back of his mind. If that's true, then it's unfortunate that that's the first impact that Stout's gonna have. But I'm not gonna put that evil on him just yet because I don't know for sure.
Right. Listen, the Knicks probably would have lost this game anyway, but it doesn't help. You know what I'm
It
saying?
just burns because we were
It
in
doesn't
the
help.
game.
Right. We had a lead. It was
We could
50 to
easily have
46
won the
at
game.
halftime.
Like it was a very winnable reach within reach game. Like we weren't outmatched at any point. We just threw it away. We just made every single mistake that you could make. In the fourth quarter, we had 5 fouls in the first minute and a half. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
they're in the
I mean,
bonus and there's 10 minutes left.
listen, there came a point where we just basically checked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Basically, it came a point where we checked out of the game.
Yeah, I ain't like
And-
seeing that, bro.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. Regardless what you're playing for, you don't want players that's gonna check out of the game, and that's what happened. The Knicks, they checked out.
Yeah,
they checked out.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
I don't know if these dudes is tired or what, but hopefully they come back from All-Star and they're better, because
Yeah.
that was a pathetic display. I did like seeing Harkless out there a little bit. It's unfortunate that his first game in had to go like that.
Well, and there were some times when I saw Harkless lose his guy too, and all of the rotations weren't good, and from him and all that. We'll give him a pass because it's his first game here with the New York Knicks. We'll give him a pass. So I don't know. Tough one, man. Speaking of Coach Mike Miller, though, ladies and gentlemen, and I do want to inform you that right after this, as long as my connection issues are good, or I don't have connection issues, we'll be streaming a Front Stoop right after this, ladies and gentlemen. 11:59. That's the time. 35 minutes from now,
Right.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna review the Griselda album. We're gonna review the Uncle Murder album. So make sure that you definitely check out the Front Stoop. I'm putting a link right here in the YouTube chat. All right. So I'll be done with this in about 20 minutes. I'll be done, and I'll be setting up for the Front Stoop. So make sure you join me on the Front Stoop at 11:59. You know what I'm saying? And we actually got some independent music to review as well. So make sure you guys check me out on there. But Mike Miller, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks had a charity event last night, I guess it was, and he met with Steve Stoute during that charity event. And obviously, knowing Mike Miller and who Mike Miller is, he kept the conversation quiet. You know what I'm saying? He kept the conversation quiet, said it's private. And he basically said, it don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? I do what I'm going to do. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? And I'm going to read the actual quote to you in just a second. I would love to have been there and hear exactly what that conversation was like and exactly what Steve Stoute had to say to Mike Miller. I would have loved to have been there to hear that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because, I would love to hear it. You know what I mean? But Mike Miller, always the guy that takes the high road. Listen, Mike Miller is the type of guy that you need, in my opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? I really do think that you need just what he brings and what he's about. You know what I mean? The Knicks need to be more low key. The Knicks don't need to always be. They're going to be in a spotlight anyway. You don't need any more attention. You know what I'm saying? So this is what Mike Miller had to say. He said, I saw Steve at the charity event called Kicks and Cocktails. That's what the Knicks had last night. He said, we spoke over there. We had a private conversation. Right? He said, I don't really have a reaction to it. I'm locked into doing what we do here. My job is to get the team ready to play Washington. My focus is on the players. Right? When he was asked if the team brass or the ownership spoke to him to put him at ease, Miller said, I speak to Scott every day. I just left speaking with Scott. It's not really necessary. He said, there's really no reason to put me at ease. I am at ease. We're getting ready to play in MSG, and I'm coaching the Knicks tonight. We got to play basketball. It's basketball season. Listen, he said it the right way, right? He said what he's supposed to say, but I think any person, there's going to be, it would be in the back of my mind, right? It would have made me upset. I would have had a couple of words to say to Steve Stoute in that situation, and I'm pretty sure Mike Miller probably did. I mean, he probably did have a few words to say to Steve Stoute. So, May 4th, you said Simmy's hungry. He earned his place, but no way in the hell am I taking Miller over Mark Jackson. I'm not. I mean, okay, I guess if that's what you want to say, I don't know. Listen, this is what I see. If the Knicks go get Mark Jackson, I'm telling you, if the Knicks go get Mark Jackson, right? And I'm not saying that Mark Jackson is a bad coach. I just think it's a bad fit here. I do. Right? Because, Mark Jackson in my opinion, I disagree with Stephen A. Smith that you got to have a coach that has this big personality, right? That has this, like Steve Stoute said, this gravitas. I don't think you need that. Right? You don't need that to make up for not having a star. I think we need someone who has tireless work ethic. I think we need someone who knows the game inside and out. I think we need someone who's not afraid to look at the players that he has on the floor, utilize their skill sets. I think we need someone who's not afraid to discipline. I think we need someone who understands that we have role players, is not afraid to use a system that is going to utilize our role players and use the strength of our role players. Someone who knows how to scout other teams. Someone who knows how to exploit the weaknesses of other teams. That's what I think we need. To me, and I love Mark Jackson. He's a Knicks legend. I love Mark Jackson. But to me, Mark Jackson is a rah-rah guy. Right? He's a motivational speaker. He'll get you riled up. That's me. That's how I feel about it. I think we need more than that. I do feel like the Knicks are going to end up getting Mark Jackson, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like Steve Stoute is going to push the issue for Mark Jackson, too. After what happened yesterday, maybe Steve Stoute doesn't have the same gravitas with the New York Knicks. You know what I mean? But I do feel like that's what's going to happen. Right? And I see some people say Miller ain't it, da-da-da. How do we know Miller's not it? How do you know that? I mean, we don't know if he is it, but how do you know he's not it? We're not playing with the greatest roster in the world. We didn't expect to play with the greatest roster in the world as we were coming in. We expected, I'm going to be honest with you, with what we've seen from Coach Miller since he's been here, I think he's 13-19 or he's 13-20, right, as the Knicks interim head coach. This is what we expected the Knicks to be about right here, right? If you take what Mike Miller has done, if this was happening from the beginning of the season, a lot of us predicted the Knicks to be about 30 to 35 games, to win about 30 to 35 games. We're probably looking at the record, just looking at the record, we're probably on that pace with this roster. I'm talking about if Mike Miller was the coach from the beginning, we probably would have been on this pace. You know, I just feel like we don't need a head coach that's going to bring in a lot of attention. I feel like we need a head coach that's good at deflecting the attention and keeping everyone's focus on basketball, not the other garbage. And I don't know if Mark Jackson is that dude. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion on it. I love Mark Jackson. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I think he would be a great coach someplace else. I don't think it's good for him to do it in New York City. I feel like it's going to be a Larry Brown type of situation. You remember Larry Brown, right? Interviews on the side of the highway, weird stuff like that. I feel like it's going to be that type of situation if you bring Mark Jackson in. That's my opinion. I can't see it ending good. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Sim.
What's good with you, bro?
I'm disappointed in you, Sim.
Okay, all right. I figured that. Go ahead for it.
And I was trying to get through last night, but I didn't get through. I'm not only disappointed in you, I'm disappointed in the rest of Knick Nation and a lot of the callers and the online brothers who I see every night who have generally some good points.
Okay.
And I'm disappointed in you for this reason alone. You guys went so hard on Steve Stoute yesterday, and I'm taking it. You probably been going hard on him again tonight. Not I'm taking it. I heard you say something about if you were Mike Miller, this, that, and the third. Let me point something out to you, Sim, and the rest of Knick Nation. Mike Miller is an interim coach. He's lucky to have this job. There's 6 or 7 other assistants they could have gave the interim tag to just to bridge us from now until whenever. Steve Stoute yesterday went on a debate show, family. He went on a debate show talking up the Knicks. Yeah, he might have got a little reckless, but it's a debate show. It's Hollywood, my brother.
I get that.
But so I don't understand how I'm hearing some of the things I heard yesterday from guys on the, and it's not just your show, some other people and stuff up in arms. And it makes me wonder, what are you guys looking for? Style over substance?
But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like Steve Stoute brought the substance. I feel like he was more style. I don't feel like he brought substance.
25 minutes, family. 25 minutes going from what do you think the team, the organization, what's the first thing you think the organization needs, whatever. And I agree with them. They need to be more attractive to bring in potential free agents. That's the number one thing, as I sit here as a Knicks fan for umpteenth years, that they need to do is to be more attractive as an organization to where these next generation young basketball players are going to feel comfortable. They need to distance themselves from the memory of watching Charles Oakley look like a wounded Luke Cage being dragged out of Madison Square Garden.
And I agree with you. The Garden does need to look more attractive, right? But I don't think that's the biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge is setting the organization internally correct first. Because if you do that, in my opinion, if you do that, everything else will flow from there, right? And you will look more attractive to free agents because you have a good structure to your organizational system. You know what I'm saying? And you will look more attractive to free agents. I feel like that is the biggest issue with the Knicks, is that we don't have that type of organizational structure, organizational stability, good developmental system. We're turning over GMs every 2 years. We're turning over head coaches every 2 years. We have hundreds and hundreds of players coming through every 2 years. Everything looks unstable. I think you've got to stabilize the organization first. That's why, to me, that is the biggest challenge. Stabilizing the organization and you prove
but
to the NBA that
if
this
he comes
organization
out
is
and say
stable,
that,
then I think things change.
Just like he got in trouble, for rolling into the question with coaches or whatever, he's gonna get in trouble for that because his role is market consultant, right?
I agree.
If he said that, now you rolling down the cliff on the left side. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I watched that interview several times. Mm-hmm. I don't see nothing that he did wrong. I don't see anything that he did wrong outside of arguing with someone who doesn't care about the New York Knickerbocker brand. He kept talking about, the Knicks is number one brand. The Knicks is blah, 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 blah. He would start or end his argument with the Knicks are around the world or number one, blah, 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 blah. In between, on the beginning or the end of what he was saying, it was always coming back to the Knicks. I don't understand. Like, we wanted for him to roll out a game plan as to, we're going to move Allen Houston. We're going to let go of this guy. We're going to let go of that guy in 25, 26 minutes, family. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think that's what anybody expected. I think people expected him to just stay in his lane, right? Talk about, if he was going to talk about, he could have easily, in my opinion, right? He could have easily said, the organizational stuff, we're going to leave that to the new president. We're going to leave that to such and such and such. What I am working on is when we do address free agents, I want them to understand the business opportunities that James Dolan can help them with. I listened to Stephen A. Smith today, right? And he was talking about the good things that James Dolan does for players. You know what I'm saying? Like he let Tyson Chandler use his private jet to go visit his mother, because his mother had cancer, go visit his mother and then take the jet back to the game. He didn't have to practice when he was going to visit his mother. Like so many different things that James Dolan does that Steve Stoute can really spotlight, that James Dolan doesn't do a good job of letting players know. Like those are the things that, in my estimation, Steve Stoute really should have had a say on. This is what we want to do. We want to show you what James Dolan really does. We want to really be able to spotlight the opportunities that you have when you come to New York. We're not overlooking the organizational side, but I'm not free to speak on that because that's not my expertise. That's all, right? Stay within his lane. And I feel like he spoke more as a Knicks fan than as a marketing expert. But in the role that he was in, I feel like he needed to speak as a marketing expert. You know what I'm saying? And understand what you're saying and the ramifications of it.
I didn't tap out. I'm a Knicks fan. It made me. This is the problem with this is the problem now with the Garden. Okay, the moment he steps out of turn, the next day you're issuing a statement. Blah, 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 going against a person who you brought in to help clean up your image. This is the same thing that they did when free agency came around, and after day one, they were apologizing for how they rolled out. You roll out, you roll out. If that's something you do internally, you bring him in internally. Steve, Leon didn't have his press conference yet. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I got you. As I make the tour around, whatever, I'll remember that. But let's remember, I'm on the hottest debate show in the country. 10 a.m., 50 million followers or whatever. We are the trending topic. The New York Knicks were was dead. What? Are we near dead last or at the bottom of whatever? We were the trending topic for the last 36 hours. Marketing, my brother, marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know if I don't know if
I don't know.
I just don't feel like. I don't know. I don't feel like he was.
When Derek Fisher came here, family, I saw him win a press conference. Style.
Okay, but look, I don't
saw
feel
Fizdale
like
win a press conference. Style.
Look, I don't feel like. Listen, I don't feel like this is me, right? And I respect your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. I don't feel like he came prepared. He had to know Stephen A. Smith, and what's his name? They were going to come at him. I don't feel like he came prepared, and that's not all. That's not all on him, because the Garden should have been, okay, you're going on this show. Let's make sure we're prepared. We know what this is about. This is what we want to say. This is what we don't want to say. You know what I'm saying? As far as, if they get into asking you these certain types of questions, that's just me, man. That's just me. I feel like, I don't feel like he was prepared, and I feel like he could have said.
Then why did you go on a debate show? You went on a debate show to embrace debate. You went on a debate show. The Garden knew he was going on a debate show. He's a Garden employee. You went on the. You can't tell Stephen A. Smith and Max what kind of questions to ask.
No, but he doesn't have to answer them. You can't make him
as prepared, because some things he's not going to be able to under his his title technically can't answer, but he's ebbing and flowing with it. Again,
but that's what I'm saying. You don't answer
topic in 36 hours. Marketing,
bro. But you don't answer. But you don't answer questions that you can't answer. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't answer questions if you can't answer a question, if you don't have the authority to answer a question, if you're not hiring the coach, shut up about it. That's how I feel. You're not hiring him. Be quiet about it. Don't talk about we're gonna have a new head coach.
He's caught up in the moment. We're talking. We're having.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But that's what I'm saying.
Intimate conversation in front of millions and millions of people. But he let that part slip.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If you are the marketing expert, your job is not to let that slip. That is your job, not to let it slip. That is what you get paid to do.
You're right, Sim. You're right. But we can't kill him. It's a new day. We can't kill him. Too much of the Garden's problem over the I remember days when Isaiah Thomas used to have the PR guy right next to him after every press conference. This is our problem. We want to control the narrative out of each and every one of the employees and representation of each person that runs up to the Garden. What is this? What is this? This is behind the East German walls where we're controlling people, what they say each and every second. It's a human being.
All right. Hey, listen, I'm going to let you go, man, because I got to get to some other people.
I still got love for you, family. You know what
I love
it
you
is,
too,
baby.
Bro. I love you too, but I'm sure we're gonna have this conversation again. I already know we're gonna have this conversation again.
We're gonna have this conversation again, but I was Sim. You're you're a leader of this nothing but Knicks Nation, family. When you go off the rail, you make everybody else go off the rail.
All right. I'm trying to keep it on the rails. I'm gonna try to keep it on the rails. I don't want anybody going off.
All right, family.
All right, man. All right. Later. Let me get to another call here. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what up? Oh, hold up. We're going to do this a lot of different ways. First and foremost, James, Mitch is a bum. Straight up. He hustled. You cannot get 4 rebounds and you 7 foot. That's it. Anyway, back to the other story. The Knicks. How are y'all, disrespecting Mark Jackson? Mark Jackson is home team. Aside from anything you ever want to believe, who they want to hype up, Mark Jackson is home team. He rode the buses, the same buses we rode on. All right? He went to the same schools we went on. Not only that, he went on to be a star, a real star. Do y'all know where Mark Jackson ranks on all-time assists in the game?
Bro,
so when you down Mark Jackson, you're disrespecting the Knicks and you don't even know it.
Bro, I'm not downing Mark Jackson. I am a super fan of Mark Jackson.
Sim,
right?
I love everything you do. I'm being real. But don't get caught up in everything they saying. Everything they saying is wrong. It's the total opposite. I watched before this year came on, and everybody said, we need Kyrie, we need Durant. But look, how many games are they much better than us right now? And we beat them twice. They beat us twice. They blew us out once. We blew them out once. So I don't understand the argument of a superstar. But let's skip all that. We talking about
but I want to get back to Mark Jackson for a second though before we move on.
All right, go ahead.
Because this is what I'm saying about Mark Jackson. I love Mark Jackson, and I think Mark Jackson deserves to coach in the NBA. Right? I just don't think it's going to be a good mix with the New York Knicks. I don't feel like every Metta World Peace was happy that he didn't get drafted with the Knicks when he thought about it at the end because he felt like being home might not be good for him. There is a lot of players in the league.
And
hold up. Check it out. Hold up.
I want you to know it.
Hold up. There's a lot of players in the league and elsewhere and other professions as well that would rather not be in their hometown, right? Because of whatever reasons. And sometimes it's for the best. I feel like it would be end up being volatile between the fans, the organization, and Mark Jackson. That's just my opinion. That is my only reason. And it's not anything about Mark Jackson himself. It's just I don't feel like the ingredients go together, and it would end up being, like I said, I pointed back to Larry Brown when he was in New York. That knowing his temperament, fans' temperament, the organization's temperament, it wasn't a good mix. That's all I'm saying about Mark Jackson. Nothing about his coaching. That's all I'm saying about it.
Here's my question to you, Sam. Now, I want you to think about this thoroughly. Why is Mark Jackson not coaching?
You know, I don't even have all of the background on.
Mark Jackson comes from both sides of the street. His brother is Escalade and won mixtapes. So he's both sides of the streets. Okay, let's move that right along. If there's one problem that everybody pointed to that ever watched this show, they always say, oh, we need a star point guard. Well, who would be better to fix that other than Mark Jackson than Jason Kidd? Okay, let's move along.
Mark Jackson's not going to be playing. He's just going to be coaching the point guard. So you're telling me if Mark Jackson is coaching Frank Ntilikina, Frank Ntilikina is going to become a star point guard?
Of course. You don't see his skill set? Frank could do it all.
I know what he could do.
Really
I don't think that just because Mark Jackson is there, he's going to become, now all of a sudden he's going to become a star. He might help him get to the,
No. Again, I'm not against Miller. I don't want that to be the sound that I'm saying. But what I'm saying is Mark Jackson was supposed to be ahead of Phil Jackson. Remember when Phil Jackson got hired?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't fire Mark Jackson until after Phil Jackson got hired. But real talk, a dynasty. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is Mark Jackson did. I also know Mark Jackson told the whole world these are the best shooters that ever played the game. Maybe he rubbed some people wrong, but was he wrong? And thinking now, looking back at it when he said it, was he wrong?
No, he was not wrong. Let me ask you this though.
They could shoot the lights out.
Okay, let me ask you. Do you think
it's more than that? It's more than that.
Okay.
Sam.
Do you think that the Warriors would? No. Do you think that the Warriors would have been the same Warriors if Mark Jackson continued to coach them? Do they win the championships that they won?
Why not? How do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking you. Do you think that they would have been the same team? The team that we know, not this year's team, but you know.
Look, it's the same story as with Mike Singletary, and he built that 49ers crew. It's the same thing with Tony Dungy built the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then some guy came in. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I don't know. We don't know. I was asking you what what do you think? I don't know what would have happened.
I know for a fact that now he had time to sit down and relax.
Okay.
That he now understands where the game is going. Here's another thing I want to say to you, something. When y'all say that the Knicks all year long, these niggas bust their ass, man.
Yo.
Even when Fizz
Watch the
was
language
there.
for me, bro. Watch the
They
language.
was in games that they should have won. And it's funny how they could put a spin on things, and the same Lakers were supposed to lose many games that they won. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of built that way. At the end of the day, and I don't want to take up a bunch of time, but I'm telling y'all, the Knicks did right, man. They did right. They didn't get, out of everybody in the free agent class that was supposed to be the so-called great free agent class, how many didn't have a season-ending injury? Think about that. A season-ending injury. Same thing with Porzingis we just got rid of. But Phil Jackson told y'all ahead of time, look, he ain't that dude. We'll trade him too. But certain people on different networks get on TV and talk crazy about us. They're downgrading us. Do you realize that every time I watch another network, they're talking about, is you going to a Nets game? This is real. This is not
I feel you.
They really trying
man.
to attack. First of all, the other night I told y'all, how can you, what he said, he going to rebrand something? How you going to rebrand something that never lost its worth?
Well, I'm with you there, right there. I'm definitely with you on that. But hey, I gotta rock, man. Because listen, I gotta go. I got the front stoop coming up in like 7 minutes, so I gotta get moving.
Let me just finish this one note.
But real quick,
Sam, last 20 years, Knicks ain't had no ring. But last 20 years, who's number one in that sport? So all the superstars and all the shit they trying to tell us we need, who's winning? Winning. It's us.
Well, I mean, financially, hey, May 4th, I'm gonna let you rock because I gotta get going, but I'm gonna answer that. All right, appreciate it, bro.
Always,
no doubt. Now, I mean, financially, yeah, we worth $4.6 billion, but we ain't winning no rings and we not winning games. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. We got to win. We want to win rings and win games. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you guys. It's 11:53. We're not gonna get to some of the stuff I wanted to get to. I do want to get to my man Wayne up here. All right, Wayne, what's going on with you, man? A lot of stuff that we talked about. A couple of good calls, though, but a lot of stuff we talked about. What's your take, man?
Well, first one, the game, terrible game.
Right.
But it's true. You guys went over everything tonight. I feel Guillermo's pain, man. We're not going anywhere with this set of players that we got now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Miller, he's a good coach, but I think he has a different agenda than what we need. I'm with Steve Stoute. We need to develop the young players. We're winning with journeymen right now. So we're not going anywhere with journeymen.
I mean, we obviously need to. There we go. Last words. We obviously need to. We got to develop our young guys and all that stuff. Mike Miller's in it. Mike Miller's in it
yesterday, and it's a shame what we're doing to this kid.
Yeah, and Mike Miller's in a super tough situation. You know what I'm saying? Mike Miller is just in a tough situation with everything that's going down around him and all that. all that.
Yeah. I think what Mike Miller is doing right now, he's an interim coach, and he's trying to prove to not only us but people around the league that he can coach.
That he can coach, yeah, of course. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to try to prove
that's his job.
That he can coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Last thing that I do want to comment on, I'm looking at this article right now, and I want to see what this says. It says the real reason behind the Knicks Leon Rose holdup. So I want to. This is the first time that I'm reading this. All right. It says Leon Rose still has stuff to do. Rose, the former super agent for Creative Artists Agency, won't be introduced as the Knicks president until after the All-Star break. According to multiple sources, decertifying as an agent with the Players Association is just an excuse for the delay. That procedure only takes days. According to sources, the real issue is tying up loose ends at Creative Artists Agency and finding new agents for as many clients, preferably with CAA. Another factor, according to sources, is the matter of settling up all the financial compensation he's due from the complicated network of CAA. It is believed Rose had roughly 18 clients when he verbally agreed to take the Knicks president position last week. So he's in the process of finding agents for those players such as Carmelo Anthony, Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Jaren Jackson, Colin Sexton, Jalen Brunson, Kyle Kuzma, and others. Rose is expected to be in Chicago during All-Star Weekend, as is the Knicks owner James Dolan, who runs the league's annual tech summit and fired Steve Mills 9 days ago to create the opening Rose will fill. So I guess that really didn't tell us anything that we didn't know. I thought it was going to tell us something that we didn't know, but I guess it's not telling us anything we didn't know. We kind of knew that information. But ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This is so soon, but I do got to get up out of here. And my man Gomes, I wanted to get him in. I can't get him in. Wayne, I'm sorry it took so long for me to get to you, right? We had a couple callers that wanted to get on me, throw some heat at me. But it's all good. I appreciate it, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to jump onto the front stoop. All right, so make sure you get on over there tonight. We're gonna check out that Griselda album. All right, we're gonna check that out. We're gonna check out not only the Griselda album, we're gonna check out Uncle Murder, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. I'm saying I got some music from one person. Sent me some music that I want you to hear, or one song, and we're gonna review that song. And I'm asking everybody, let's not be disrespectful, but be honest about it. Tell the person, what you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So join us on the front stoop, man, in about 2 minutes. So it's probably not gonna really get going until about 10 after 12, something like that, because I got to get everything set up. It's only gonna take me a couple minutes to get it set up. All right. So make sure, Joshua O'Crane says, Sim, check your email. I'm going to check the email. And I do want to give a shout out to the State of the Knicks podcast. Thank you for becoming a member. He became a member of NBK today. Thank you for becoming a member of that State of the Knicks podcast. So make sure you check out State of the Knicks podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for being on here. Please join me on the front stoop, right? I'm putting the link in the chat right now. You can click on that link and jump over there right now. All right. So we could talk about some music. Every Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing music reviews. That's independent music, right? Mainstream music. And we all going to talk about it and review it every Wednesday. Then on Fridays, it's just a general podcast. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for being patient, as it took a while for me to get on, having some connection issues and stuff like that. But appreciate you guys. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you guys about 5 minutes on the front stoop. Peace.